Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing Mario Kart Wii. So, I have had a bit of a problem with this game because for some random reason these cups that are on here are telling me that I've done it when I don't know if I did, and I've just checked my YouTube video of the last one I did and I did 6 cups, which makes perfect sense actually, because I did these two, the star, not the star, sorry, my bad. I did a mushroom and a flower. And I also did the star and crown. And then I did this and this, because I thought there was 12. But it turns out there was 8. So, I don't know why it's saying here that I've actually not done these two when I have. And I know I did. And it also shows up on here that I have when I'm actually in the thing. So I might just miss it, and even though it's saying I've done it. So I did start trying to make this video already, but it didn't make any logical sense. So today we're going to be going through the final 2 cups. I didn't realise it was being difficult, but it was. So yeah, for 100cc I might try going through it all in one go. It might be about 2 hours, and same with 150 and then 200 or mirror, I think it is. I think only 200's in Mario Kart 8. But anyways, I do apologise for not doing this video sooner. I was planning on doing it, but there has been a couple of issues with my OBS not working properly. So I did Detroit Become Human last week. But I have a big announcement to make, guys. I have bought a Switch 2. I've bought a Switch 2. It's not with me yet. I've ordered it online. And at the making of this video, it is a Sunday. So, yeah, that's it's really exciting and I can't wait for it. I will be going through Mario Kart on that. I might do like the whole of Mario Kart, like the Grand Prix, just go through it, making sure I know what I'm doing, because I know the game is actually kind of different from what it normally is on Mario Kart. Rather than 4 tracks and then the game's over, you actually got to travel to the tracks and it's more open world and stuff. I've never really played a game like that, so I might try and give it a go and see how I get on before doing it. But yeah, if you guys do enjoy the video, please like, subscribe and comment if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. We are almost at 50 subscribers, so I would really appreciate a follow or a subscribe. I mean, it's free. Also a like on the video would be really appreciated, and I really can't wait to hit 50. But without any further ado, let's get straight into the video, shall we? So today we are going to be doing the last 2. It was my fault. I should have noticed that there was 8. I thought there was 12, and so I miscounted, which is why I did 6, and then I ended the video. If I'd known that, I would have completed the 8. Today we're going to play as Waluigi. So this video will probably only be about half hour. So, like, this is what I mean. Like here, you see down here, it says I've got a star rank, trophy gold. Same with this one, rank 8, trophy gold, and it's not showing up on my license that I've done that, which is what's annoying. So today we're going through. We've done these 2. Yeah, we've done these 2 as well, which is registered. And then it's this one we need to do. And this one. And then the ones that I saw on the other side here are other ones. I don't know. I must have played that on my own at some stage. I don't know, but yep. Let's just do it, shall we? Play as Waluigi. And then we'll switch up a character for the last 50cc. And I did go through my video as well, and it actually made a lot of sense because I did do those tracks. That's how I knew, because I did try recording this video once and I had an issue with recording it once because I was so like confused whether I did it or not, so I decided to check on my channel rather than making you guys sit here and wait. Okay, I think there is a shortcut on this map, but if not... Oh, never mind. Okay, that didn't go in my way. I actually thought I was going to be able to just shortcut across there, but I guess not. Hopefully soon we'll go on to 100cc, but we'll see how we get on. Right, first. Let's throw that. Good, good. I've tried turning the volume up a bit more for this one, so you guys can hear me and the game decently well, but I don't know how it's going to sound. I might have to tinker with the levels if it doesn't sound as good, because I did listen to the last one, and the audio of the game is not very high in it. Yeah, I forgot how quiet this was, and also there's no music, which I don't understand either. I might have to see if I can get a normal version of Mario Kart for my next videos, and just have like the official version and the MODDED version for my own personal purposes, just because I don't really like the idea of not having music, because the music is like part of Mario Kart and I really love it. Right, final lap. Because I can still get the official version even if I have the MODDED one. I can't wait for the Switch 2, guys. It's on its way. Hopefully it'll be dispatched by tomorrow, because I'm doing it through CEX, and I think I realistically got one of the last ones in the UK. So basically what happened yesterday was I sold my... I'll go from the beginning, but I sold my Wii U, my PS Vita, and my original Switch, because at the end of the day, I've barely touched my Wii U in about a year. Not because I hate the console, but because I have an Xbox 360 and a PS5 and a laptop, and it's just like, yeah. So I have two handhelds, not including the Switch. So I was like, what do I get rid of? Do I get rid of the PS Vita, or do I get rid of the 2DS XL? And the 2DS XL is something that I've actually played a lot, and yes, it's worth a lot more money, and I would have gotten more money for it if I took it instead of the PS Vita. But the PS Vita, I don't have as many games on there that I like playing. And I've only really played Injustice on the PS Vita, and Minecraft, and the Lego games. Why is there music all of a sudden? This is what I'm saying, like the music doesn't always work, and I don't know why. But yeah, so I was playing like the DS the other day, and I was like, I could either get rid of this or the Vita, and I was like, I'll get rid of the PS Vita, and I'll go with the 2DS XL. By the way, they are both MODDED. This is being a lot more responsive today. Like I can do the tricks a lot better. But yeah, so I was like, which one? So I got rid of the PS Vita, I factory resetted it, took the SD card out of it, and and I sold the SD card as well to CEX. Don't get me wrong, I didn't get ridiculous amounts of money for it, but I think for the Vita, I didn't actually get to sell to CEX because apparently there were screen burns under the screen, and I don't understand why there were screen burns under the screen, because they sold it to me 3-4 months ago and it was fine, but that's apparently my fault, so I don't know. So I actually took it to a shop and I only got 20 quid for it, because apparently they said the screen could go at any time, and he's being generous, giving me that price. So I took it because I was like, look, I might not be able to get rid of it anywhere else, so I didn't want to risk like being stuck with it and not being able to sell it. And after all, that would mean I would have to like re-MOD the system, and I didn't particularly want to do that all over again because it takes a while to do it. And I will redo it again one day anyway, because I'm going to get another one. But yeah, so that was the idea of that. I had a problem with getting rid of my Wii U accounts and making sure that the MODs were off of it as well. I did try selling it in other shops and stuff, but the problem with selling the Wii U in other shops is they would either give me like 20 quid for it, even though buying them is still really expensive, or they just wouldn't take it because of how old it is. the guy that took the PS Vita, it was really funny because he took the PS Vita for 20 quid, which is actually like younger than the Wii U. I'm pretty sure the PS Vita came out like what, 2011, and we're now on shit. He took the he took the PS Vita, but didn't take the Wii U, which came out in 2012. The Wii U came out in 2012. The PS Vita came out in 2011. So it's like, I don't understand how he took the PS Vita but not take the Wii U. But even if he did, he probably would have given me a bad price for it. I've spent a lot of money on that Wii U. I spent like so much money on that Wii U. I spent like 100 and something on the base console, and then I also spent like another load of money on the gamepad because I knew like my gamepad broke, and I don't remember what the reason for the gamepad breaking was, but it broke, and I had to buy another one, and that was £70. If you want to know the conversion rates, if you're not from the UK and watching this, just look it up on Google, like £70 in dollars. And so, yeah, it was like pretty expensive. When you think about it, like that was insane. Buying it for £70, like that was more than I was going to get for it, like, really. And I get like it's a second-hand console or whatever, but even then, the Wii U is still worth like more than that. Like, why are you doing me like that? Is what I was kind of annoyed about. But either way, I got 80 on a CEX voucher, and I knew I wanted to get my Switch from CEX, or my Switch 2 from CEX, because the console's been out for like what, 2 weeks now, and it's like CEX will not take the console at this point unless it's in mint condition. So I don't know why anyone would want to get rid of their Switch 2 after like 2 weeks of it being released, because I only just like ordered it like a day ago. So I didn't want to also, even if I knew where the shops were where I was collecting it from, other than if I did a click and collect, I would not go and try and pick it up because someone would probably beat me to it. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate. So I actually had like 4 vouchers from them, and I woke up yesterday and I was like, oh, I bet it's not in stock, because it hasn't been in stock for the past 2 weeks. There was one in stock about a week ago, but I hadn't sold my stuff then, so it was a waste of time. And I was like, it probably would have been gone by the time I sell my stuff anyway. And considering I only just sold my Wii U 2 days ago because they wouldn't accept it because it didn't have a stylus with it, which they never even gave me in the first place, and I didn't have a brick gamepad charger. I gave them a cable for it, but they just refused. So I went on eBay and was like, you know what? I'm going to get like more money if I just do it like this rather than trying to sell it on eBay or something. So I was like, fine, I'll do that then. So that's exactly what I did. I sold I bought the stuff, and I took it in there. I said, here's what you asked for, will you take it off me now? And they said, okay, yeah, that's fine, we'll test it, make sure everything's okay. So they tested it and everything was fine. I was getting 80 quid for it, so it was, you know, a win-win scenario for me. But yeah, the PS Vita I only got 20 quid for. I sold one of my old phones as well. I got like 30 quid for that, so it isn't the greatest phone, and the only reason that I didn't get more for it was because apparently the charging port was a bit loose. Like, it was still charging, but you weren't able to move it at certain angles, which is fair. But yeah, that was really the best that I had in that situation. That was the best I could do. So yeah, the Switch I sold for 70, which is actually insane when you think about it, because like a Switch is like they're taking the Switch for the exact same price that like Mario Kart World is, and it's insane to think about how expensive a Switch 2 game is. Like it's competing with Mario, you know, a full Switch console is competing with Mario Kart World, and I get like over time it's like almost I may be wrong. I don't know if it is a decade-old console. I don't think it is. I think it's 8 years old. So like the Switch came out in like 2017, but the hardware is not hard. Sorry, far from obsolete. I don't think the Switch is worthless. And to be fair, I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to afford the Switch 2. And the only problem with the Switch 2 is the fact that you think, oh yeah, after a few years the price will go down. It's not going down unless you're buying it from eBay or Amazon. You will never get like and even then Amazon are very flimsy with that stuff, so they might not even give you a discount either. But I was saying it because like Amazon will probably not give you as much of a discount, but if you some second-hand sellers on eBay after like 2 to 3 years will be like, yeah, here's a console for like 200 instead of 395, and you can snag those deals occasionally. But from what I heard, the prices are not going to go down for the Switch 2, only up. So I would seriously recommend, if you are planning on picking up a Switch 2, or you're even just considering it, I would generally say do it as soon as possible, because the Switch 2 is selling fast, and it's not really, especially in the UK, it's really annoying, because I got so lucky, because I inputted all my vouchers and everything, and with CEX it requires you to put in like the date, the time, how much is on there, and it's like really annoying, and I did all of that once, and I got really annoyed because it said order failed, and someone had bought the one that I was going for. Either way, that it was two of the same one, but they refused to accept payment. So I thought, you know what, I'll try again, but it'll probably be sold out before I can get to it. So I did all of that, and surprisingly, with my luck, I did actually pay for it, and I got my order in somehow. I don't know how I did get my order in, but I did. And so I was really happy with that I did actually manage to get my order in. And I was really surprised that I was able to get my order in as well, because they are selling really fast. Like Curry's is sold out, Argos is sold out. Like everywhere in the world has, well, at least in the UK. I don't know about the world, but everywhere in the UK, the console has pretty much sold out. Like pretty much every place that I know would have one has sold out. So CEX, you just get lucky if someone trades one in. Which is pretty rare though. I've only seen 3 traded in within the past 2 weeks. I didn't think I was even going to get that lucky with that. I thought it was going to be like months. And I actually went in there when I sold the Wii U the other day, and I said, look, I'm trying to get rid of all my consoles so I can get the Switch 2. I had notifications on, so that if the Switch 2 did come in stock, I would like be able to get it. Like notification telling me on my email, but no notifications ever came through. So I just checked manually every day, and I even spoke to the guy about it, and he said to me, oh, we had a Switch 2 coming today, and he said, maybe it's already gone, because like that's insane. Like they had a Switch 2 earlier that morning, I think he said. And obviously I didn't check the app that morning because I was expecting to be notified, but I wasn't notified, which was unfortunate. But I did actually, you know, check that morning, and I was lucky that I did, the one that I was going to buy it. I got the most expensive one. If you aren't from the UK, CEX is like a second-hand gaming shop. It's like GameStop. The one thing I will say about CEX, though, be careful what you buy off them, because USBs, SD cards, they're always tested and they're always working. So if you're looking for like extended storage, they can't scam you. It's not like going on eBay, buying an SD card, and then if it doesn't work, they're not going to be able to do anything about it. They will always test the stuff before selling it to you. So that is one thing to say about them, and I do admit that. I've got an A grade console. I would expect CEX to give you like a really good like console, especially with Switch 2, because it's only been out for 2 weeks. If anyone's managed to damage their Switch 2 really badly, I would be, yeah, that's insane. But mine, oh nice, we got a cart. But I've got like the mint condition, so basically it is basically brand new. I've got the mint condition in the box. I'm keeping the box. I do have a Switch 1 carrier case, so I didn't get rid of that because I think the Switch 2 will be fine in it. I've also ordered a screen protector. What should we do? Let's do Donkey Kong. I have ordered a I like this. Oh wait, no, we did that cart already. Let's do the flamethrower. What the hell? It's just randomly put me here, and I don't know why. Anyways. Okay, so we've done the leaf cup. Now it's the lightning cup. But yeah, I mean, I was like really lucky to get mine. It could have sold out if someone just decided to put their card details in it and just pay for it, because CEX saves the card details, so you would just have to put in your 3 numbers on the back, and then you would basically be able to pay for it pretty easily. So I had to like put my vouchers in one by one, and then after I put my vouchers in one by one, I would then need to verify with my bank that I'm the one making the rest of the purchase, which I think it was like 260. So, it was like after the vouchers were all applied, it was like £260 left, which was still a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't. The only reason that I had the more money that I had was from selling like the Wii U and the something else, and my SD cards. I had a 1TB SD card for the Switch that I was using for my MODD ED Switch. So I was using that for that, and I was also using the 512GB USB drive for the Wii U. So it was. So like it was like not an issue, I guess, but it was like I was still getting a decent amount of money for it. I think in total I got like 170 off or something like that. I wouldn't say it was really a discount, it was just because of me selling my consoles. It wasn't like you earn loyalty points over the years, because if so I would have had a load. But yeah, I just sold some old consoles that I didn't really care for as much anymore, or I don't play often, and the PS Vita is not something I play often. The Wii U I barely touched. The only time I played anything on the Wii U was when I played Lego Batman 2. I went through Disney Infinity briefly, and I also went through what was the other game? I went through something else as well. I mean, I went through Lego Batman 2. I don't know if I completed. Oh, Batman Arkham City. I did play through those games a while ago when I got the Wii U, just because I didn't want to feel like I wasn't using the console. I did play Minecraft a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't actually think the Wii U is a bad console, right? I'd say if you had a Wii U, but you didn't have a PS3 or an Xbox 360, it is a very good console to have. Like, it does the same pretty much things. The only difference is the graphical capabilities aren't as good, I would say, but they are, like, it is really good for that kind of reason. But I do have a 360, and there are some first-party Nintendo games on there that you can't really play anywhere else, but majority of them have been remastered for Switch, and I do own them. So I must say, I don't agree with like how much games are now. Like, it's ridiculous. Like on the Switch, it's like £50 to get Mario Odyssey, and like that game's been out for years. So I don't see the point of what? I was holding a banana. How did that make sense? Like the Switch 1 has been out for years, and then they're still like selling Mario Odyssey for the ridiculous price of that, and it's rarely ever gone down. And if it does go down, it goes by like £5. Oh shit! God's sake! But yeah, that's why I'm a bit like skeptical about getting the Switch 2. But then again, there's only like really 2 main games that I really want. There may be a few more that come out over time that I might be interested in. And the games that I'm really interested in is Mario Kart World, which has come out, and Tomodachi Life 2. Those are the 2 games I really want. And it's unfortunate that Nintendo aren't doing backwards compatibility very well. And or like what I mean by that is they're not releasing, like obviously the whole Switch library is on the Switch 2, same with like you can play PS4 games on the PS5. It's like you have access to all your content you paid for before, and you can re-download it again, which is good. I'm really only going to get digital versions of the games, whether I get them cheaper on CD keys or whether I don't, and I pay legitimately through the store. Because I don't like the idea of having a physical game cartridge and then you not actually owning the game. Like, because that's apparently... Oh shit, I almost got hit. Because apparently that's what they're saying now. Like, even if you have the physical cartridge, it's like you're getting a license to play it. So it's like you pay for the game and then it downloads a certain data it needs. And then... Like, that's really it. Like, it doesn't... Like, you don't actually get to keep the game. Like, don't get me wrong, the license will probably work the whole time, but I don't like the idea of having a physical copy of a game and then it not really being mine. So that's why I've decided not to do that. I will be going, like, and getting the digital games because I realistically will own those, and I still have, like, 300 on my Switch 1. So... yeah, the only other thing that I have a complaint about is storage. Like, don't get me wrong, I think, like, 256 gig is decent for a Switch, right? Okay? The Switch 2 is has nowhere near as big games as PS5 or Xbox. So, I mean, I'm not really super pissed off about that. But it's the fact that they don't have an option for, like, a 1TB upgrade, and you can't use regular SD cards. Which is really a big turn-off for me, because it was like, oh, yeah, I can use my Switch SD card that I have in there and use that. Yeah, sure, I would have had to pay a bit of extra money, but I would have done it. But considering how expensive, like, the Switch is already, and you're not getting decent... Sorry about that. And you're not getting decent storage. Like, I'd say I could probably fit, at most, if I'm really lucky, 20 of my games on there. Because of the space. I think Mario Kart World is like 21 gigs. Hold on. And Mortal Kombat 1, which is a game that I wanted to get on there were issues with it, and I was a bit annoyed because I only had one character left that I hadn't had on the Switch version. Before I had the PS5 version, I was playing it on Switch. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't the greatest game I've ever played, but it wasn't bad at all. I could still play it. When I did have an issue with the game a little bit at times. Like, I had an issue with like it randomly kicking me out for no logical reason, crashing. But apparently that was quite common on the Switch. So yeah. But you know, there wasn't much I could realistically do about it. I did try to keep playing the game, and I did, and I did manage to get through it without any issues. I mean, I got Mortal Kombat like 1 on like second day of it being released, because I went to the I think I went to Game and I bought a gift card because I didn't have the money on my card for some reason. So I went to Game and I bought like a 60, I think it was like, no, I think I spent 75, so I bought the standard edition for the game. I bought 150 and then 125, I think it was, because there wasn't a tenner, and there was only 15. So it was quite difficult, and I remember it being really highly priced on the Switch. It was like full retail price, which it shouldn't have been. Like, because of the bugs, they should have sold it for like 20, 30 quid cheaper. I would have bought that. So I did spend like all the money on the game, and the graphics were awful. The loading time, and I remember that specifically when I was playing the game. Like when I was trying to play through the story mode, the loading times, rendering the cutscenes between things, and And the cutscenes, don't get me wrong, were fine. There was nothing wrong with the cutscenes, like they were fine. They were like 1080p quality, same as like PlayStation and Xbox. But then the loading between matches was bad. But what I was really annoyed about the other day is I heard that they weren't gonna, they delisted Mortal Kombat 1 on Switch 2. So if you bought the game previously, you could download it, but it was not available for purchase. So while this was happening, I still had my old Switch on me. So I was like, you know what? I'll buy Shang Tsung because that's the only character I didn't have because I didn't get the pre-order bonus. Like, he was the only character I didn't have. So I was like, you know what, I'll buy it. So I actually got half the price out of it. So I actually paid a lot, like, I paid, like, instead of it being £6, I paid £3. So I was like, oh, well, it's a discount, I'll take it. And I was like, I just didn't want to go onto the Switch 2 being never able to play Shang Tsung. It kind of was bugging me, and I don't know why it was bugging me so much, but it was. Ow. But it was like really bugging me. So I was like, you know what? I'll buy it. So I bought it on the Switch 1. I watched a YouTube video a day later, and they're saying it's now listed. So basically, I could have bought it on the Switch 2, but at the same time, I'm glad I didn't risk it, because if they never made any upgrades to Mortal Kombat 1, then at least I could have kept it and have like all the characters and everything. Because I just hope that they make a Switch 2 patch for it. Well, I'm not expecting them to upgrade the entire game or anything. Like, the loading times have naturally progressed faster. The powerful hardware has made it a lot better. But it's just like more annoying with the fact that like it's still running at like 720p, and it would be better if it was at like upgraded to 1080p. So we'll see. I'm hoping that they make like just a quick like patch for it, the Switch 2 specifically. Like, it will just update on the Switch 2 users. So I am kind of looking forward to that. I could have got a Steam Deck, but here's the thing. The reason that I wanted the Switch 2 more than a Steam Deck is because I have a computer. Oh shit, what? I have a computer that can run my Steam games. There is no logical point right now in me buying a Steam Deck when my computer can do the same thing. And I get like the hype around the Steam Deck, like it is a decent console, don't get me wrong, like having a handheld Steam port, I'm all for that, don't get me wrong, I am all for that, and I probably will go through like and get a Steam Deck one day. But for me, like the Switch 2 was kind of like what I wanted. And I knew the risks of like getting the Switch 2 because it was like I knew that I was not going to be able to have my MODs anymore, which was a bit of a nuisance for me when I thought about it. But then I was like, you know what? Because my main problem with Nintendo was the fact that I kept giving them money. Like I gave them like almost £3,000, right? Not including the console price, but my mum bought that for me for a Christmas present in 2019. So I did say I wanted a Switch, she bought me a Switch. So that was like back then, and I was like willing to pay money to Nintendo for coming out with a great console. But then after a while, I kind of thought they were taking the piss. So I decided that I would MOD the console because I was fed up with it, like how much Nintendo were taking the piss. Which was my main issue with Nintendo. And don't get me wrong, I probably will feel that same way again, but I will not try to MOD the Switch 2 because I know like how difficult Nintendo is now. Like they have kind of like, if you do this, they will like ban your console. And to be honest, I spent so much money on it, I don't really want to buy another one. Specifically, I really don't want to, because it's like once it's banned, there's no point in selling it. You can't sell it, you can't do anything with it. It's like you won't be able to use the eShop to download anything. So if you do have games, you will be able to play them, but only if they're downloaded. The ones that aren't downloaded, you will not be able to access the eShop anymore. So I have kind of made peace with the fact that I will not be able to play MOD games anymore. I was originally going to keep the Switch 1, but I decided not to bother because I thought, well, like keep the Switch one. Oh, I thought that was the last lap. I was going to keep it, but because I thought, oh, maybe they'll release like some games back onto the Switch one, like they'll like do some backwards compatibility stuff. But I was kind of thinking, like, I'm not gonna lie, even the games that I did, like, you know, what that means, those games that I did I actually still had the majority of those games. The only games I didn't have were the ones that were emulated and the ones that were, stop banging into everything, and some new ones that I didn't have. But the majority of the games I did have, the ones that I didn't have was like Sonic Generations, X Generations. But yeah, I do think the Switch 2, I will give, like, I might even do an unboxing video, because even though it's not, like, release day anymore, it'll be, like, 2 weeks after, like, 2 weeks and a few days, I do want to do my own video on it, and see what I think of it, so I might even just use my phone to make a video, like, showing off the thing, then I'll log into my account or whatever, and then continue the video. But I will, sorry if you can hear the noise outside, I've left my door open because it's really hot today, so I want to get air in here. But yeah, I do really want to play the Switch 2, and I really am excited for it. So let me know in the comments below, are you excited for the Switch 2? Like, are you going to get one? Have you got one? What are your opinions on it? I would have gotten a Steam Deck, but I kind of felt like if I have a laptop that runs these games, like, there's a lot more games that I want to get on the Switch 2 that I can't play on the Steam Deck, which is why I was a bit, like, skeptical about getting a Steam Deck, but I will get one day. Today is just not that day. So, I think my game has crashed. We're done now anyways, but it just seems to have, like, randomly stopped working. Let me just deactivate and then reactivate again. It's not to do with that, no. Okay, I don't know why it's just done that, but it has. So, if you do enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and comment if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know your opinions on the Switch 2. Without any further ado, bye-bye.